Hey you guys, welcome back to another video. So today is gonna be just kind of more so just like a little life update chat with you, and also I'm gonna take you through my workout that I'm hitting later today. I'm gonna do legs and then some core work, so I'll show you that workout later. But basically, okay, so like super weird, I like woke up with weird anxiety today. I don't know why. I just felt kind of like nauseous, but it's already 4 o'clock and I feel like I haven't even done anything, and I feel like my day has just passed me by and I just have felt so anxious all day. So I'm just kind of like taking it slow, and then I just went and like got a coffee just to kind of relax and just gather myself. I don't know what's wrong with me today, but everyone has these days. So if you ever wake up feeling just anxious for no reason, like, you're not alone. Everyone goes through that. Just a few little things I want to chat about because, I don't know, I feel like sometimes life updates are much needed because there's only so much you can really talk about and show on Instagram, and I feel like YouTube is more so a place where you can just really just chat and just have a one-on-one type of little thing going on. So in terms of the things that I do want to chat with you about, the first thing being prep, the second thing being a new diet, the third thing being a breast augmentation. I never thought I would talk about that on my channel, but I'll get into that. Okay, so in regards to prep, if you have been following me for a minute on Instagram, you would have known that I was on prep in March. I think it was like for 6 weeks I was on prep. I was doing a 20-week prep. I was supposed to do the summer shredding of June this year. And then I got my blood work done and my TSH was elevated and my cortisol was super elevated. So those are two things you don't want to mess with, especially going into prep, because then, you know, prep was possible, but coming out of prep was going to be a whole other ride in itself. So I really was not going to want to like tank my hormones to an unhealthy level, so I stopped prep. I had told my coach I wanted to start prep again after that recovery period for my hormones, end of July. It is now mid-July and I'm not going to be starting prep end of July. And the reason being that there was just a national show that my friend Meg actually got her pro card at. Congrats to Meg, love her. Insane. She is 100% a natural athlete, got her pro card at her first ever national show. Looking at the overall density that those girls had on that stage, so this is just like a huge conversation to get into, but so many people are prepping to prep. They're prepping for content. They're prepping because their friends are doing a prep. They're prepping because their friend wants them to prep with them. And I think those reasons are just straight up ridiculous. Bodybuilding is not a sport to do for shits and giggles. It's a sport that you do to be competitive in. It's a sport that you do for longevity. Like, bodybuilding is like, it consumes 24/7 of like your life. Like, people in this industry especially need to just check themselves and make sure they're doing a prep for the right reasons, and that is a huge reason why I have not prepped yet. And that being, I am not doing a show to do a show. I am doing a show because I want to win. I'm doing a show because I want to be competitive, and I want to come in with a physique that is undeniably so freaking good. And that also kind of ties into my breast augmentation, which I will chat about later in this video. Right now, even though it is summer and everyone's cutting, I have made the decision with my coach to do a show in 2023, and until that time comes where I need to start prep for that, I will just be putting on as much freaking muscle as I can. So with that being said, I'm currently just pushing the food up, training hard, being consistent, and just making sure I check all the boxes that I possibly can in this quote-unquote off season, so I come in next year just ready to freaking like slay. Basically, that's the goal. So again, if you are someone who wants to prep just because your friends are doing it or you see your favorite fitness influencer doing a show, no, the sport is expensive. The sport can be detrimental to your health if not done correctly. If you don't have a proper coach, I 100% recommend looking into one. Nicole Medina is my coach. He looks out for me in all aspects, which I think is really important to have in a coach, because again, if you are not doing good mentally, hormonally, like anything, and you go into a prep, you're gonna experience things that you shouldn't really experience or want to experience. I feel like people on Instagram have been sending me DMs like about prep and asking if I'm on prep or what I'm doing prep or this or that, and that's the answer. I'm really just trying to have a really solid prep for prep, basically. Like, again, I want to walk on stage just undeniably so freaking good, and that really all falls on me. If you're watching your favorite influencer and they're doing a show, you may think they're gonna get their pro card because they look so freaking good and they're your favorite and this and that, but no, like, yes, I'm sure they look amazing, but someone could walk in and look just a smidge better than them, and then that person can miss a pro card by 1 or 2 spots or not even qualify for nationals, or like anything can happen. So like, it really just is about like you really being against you, just staying on top of your stuff, being consistent, and then just hoping for the best on show day, because you have to put in your full effort, but you overall in general, just you can't control who shows up. So you could look like absolute shit, honestly, and then no one else shows up that looks better than you, so you'll still win. So it all really is about who shows up, who's on that stage, who's judging, who you're being compared to. So yeah, that's what we're dealing with. I am just going to be growing, putting on some muscle until next year when it's time for me to prep. And I also kind of want to get some things in order health-wise, which brings me to my next topic of life updates. Okay, so next little life update. More often than not, I literally feel like garbage. I am so low energy. I always want to nap recently, and there will just be so much that I want to get done during the day, but I have no energy to do it, or I'll go and try to do it, and I just literally, like, I just can't. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. So instead of just like being like, oh, poor me, I don't feel good, whatever, I'm just going to start experimenting in ways to just try to make me feel better. So everything starts with your diet. Truly, if you don't feel good, the first thing you need to look at is what you're putting in your body. My current goal in terms of my eating habits, I'm going to be transitioning into what is going to be a carb diet only from fruits. Does that make sense? So my diet will basically just be meat, eggs, and fruit. So all of my carb sources will come from fruit. I will eat rice and oats in moderation if I need them or I just really want them, because oats aren't bad for you. Like, other sources of carbs are not bad for you. Please don't take me saying this as saying like don't eat pasta, don't eat bagels. I also am gluten sensitive. I don't have celiacs, but I know that gluten makes me very inflamed, very tired, and just very bloated. So I have not been doing myself any favors by eating bagels and eating pasta and stuff like that, which also can have to do with me just being tired basically all the time for no reason. So that is going to be my transition in terms of shifting my eating habits to overall feel better. If you want to try out this new eating style with me and just kind of see how you feel, I would love to have you do that with me, and then also give me feedback and tell me how you feel, if you feel better, if you notice any changes at all. I think it'll be a super fun and interesting thing to try out for at least a week. I also expect probably to lose some weight, not fat necessarily, because I'm still going to be eating the same macros, but my quality of foods will just be better. So I'm super interested to see how that will go. because I'm sure I'm gonna be losing some water weight for sure. Okay, now the next thing I want to talk about is my breast augmentation. I was skeptical to even bring this up at all on any of my social medias, not because I didn't want to share it with the public, but I don't want to hear it from my family. I honestly have no idea if my family watches my YouTube videos or even how closely they pay attention to like my TikToks and Instagram. But basically, I am 100% getting a breast augmentation. My breast augmentation is scheduled for like the middle of August. So I'm gonna have to be out of the gym for at least 4 to 6 weeks. So that'll be kind of a bummer, but it really is for the best, especially in the long run. It's going to help overall with competing, overall confidence, everything. And it's super hard for people to understand why girls want to do what they want to do to their bodies, unless they're them, because you don't know someone's reasoning for things. You don't know why someone wants to get a nose job or get a breast augmentation or a lip filler or whatever. If you lift and you're a girl, you probably understand how just masculine you feel. Why is there's literally a bird on my car. Bro, can you get off? Oh my god, that's so annoying. But as a girl who lifts like I do, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a small upper body. Like, my shoulders aren't small, and when your shoulders literally feel like they're bigger than your chest, like, imagine how that feels as a woman. You don't feel good, you don't feel cute. And I feel like people think like the bigger shoulders the better, but it comes to a point sometimes where even I'm like, wow, are like my arms too big? Like, I definitely have those thoughts, and I even have guys call it out, and it does make me kind of insecure. So not even insecure, but it kind of just makes me a little self-conscious about how big my arms are. My arms aren't huge, don't get me wrong, and I know that. They definitely could be bigger, and I actually do want them to get bigger for competing, but sometimes when guys say like, oh, you have bigger arms than me, haha, like, it kind of gets to you and you're like, yikes, like, are they actually that big? So I don't want to change the size of my arms, I just want to get my boobs done so I just look more feminine and I just feel cuter. So that's the tea. If you are a girl and you lift, or even if you don't lift, and you think getting a breast augmentation will make you feel better, by all means go for it. As long as you can like handle it financially, I don't see a problem with it. As long as you go into it with the right mindset, I don't see a problem with it. I have wanted a boob job my entire life, basically. I think having a super feminine yet strong body is so amazing, and I think once I get my breast augmentation, I really will have like what I would call my dream body. I'm gonna be honest, I'm very proud of the body that I have built, that I'm building, that I'm working towards, and I'm super freaking excited to get this done, and then also to go into next year with more muscle and then cut from there for a show. Like, I'm sorry, like, if I put on at least 5 pounds of muscle, get my boobs done, and then cut down, snatched. Like, I'm so excited, you don't understand. But if you guys are down to hear more about this procedure and the details in regards to it, like sizing, all that stuff, the details, how my recovery is, I'm 100% down to share more with you guys, because like Jordy Dix, she shared her experience getting her breast augmentation, and I watched her videos on it, and it was the most helpful thing ever. So if I can be helpful to anyone out there who wants to get a breast augmentation, please let me know. Don't like hesitate to DM me on Instagram, comment, whatever, if you have any questions about it, or if I can help you in any way, or just share my overall experience with you, because that's what I'm here for. I also feel like it would be a disservice to you guys if I had gotten a breast augmentation and not said anything about it. Like, that's just information that I'm withholding that isn't even really fair to like not share with you guys, because if I can help you, whether it be in terms of confidence, my life experiences, training afterwards, having to deal with recovering from a breast augmentation and trying to work out and recovering from that, I will 100% be open and honest and transparent with you guys about that. And I also think it would be super difficult and super annoying if I had to try to hide the fact that I got a breast augmentation from anyone on social media. It would just be extremely annoying if I had to like hide the fact that I got a breast augmentation when I won't be in the gym for at least 4 to 6 weeks. It'll be obviously noticeable that something was done, and like it just doesn't make any sense to try to even hide it at all. So I'm just gonna be full on transparent with you guys about this. I'm excited though. So I'll keep you guys updated with sizing and stuff and what I decide to go with. And then of course you'll see me literally like out of the gym for 4 weeks too. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in terms of content though. Like, do I just stockpile Instagram pics and YouTube videos for the time that I can't like do stuff while I'm recovering, or I have no idea. So I'll figure that out. But anyways, that is it for my little life updates. So I'm going to just get out of this parking lot. First of all, I'm literally sitting in a parking lot at a coffee shop. Like, for what? Like, go home sis. Like, get out of your car. But yeah, I'm gonna go to Alpha Land later today, hit legs, do some core work, and I will just film that for you so you can kind of see what my training looks like. Okay, hello. So it's currently 7 p.m. I just got to the gym and I got just a little banana, and then I have my water for my workout. I'm gonna munch on this now. But I used to eat sour strips for my pre-workout carbs. So this is what adulting looks like. Yeah, I'm gonna show you a little bit of my warm-up. I'm gonna walk on the treadmill for like probably 10 minutes, do a little bit of stretching and hit legs, and then do abs afterwards. Okay, so I felt like it would be more helpful to do a little voiceover and talk you through what I'm doing instead of just playing some random music. So I started out with a little bit of lunges and reverse lunges just to kind of loosen up my hips. I don't always do static stretching before leg day, but my hips were just super tight, so I wanted to loosen those up before I got started. And then after my stretches, I moved right into some hip thrusts on the glute drive machine. So I typically do about 4 to 5 sets on the glute drive machine. The first set, I usually start out with 1 plate and just really get the glutes warmed and just kind of activate them with a super light weight. And then I work up to 2 to 3 plates. That usually is a good range for me because I don't want to go too heavy to where I'm just pushing the weight instead of actually controlling it. In this little off-season building season that I mentioned that I'm doing, I'm really focusing on my form and controlling the movements and just being super particular. So as you can see here, I'm kind of doing a little tiny pause at the top and controlling it on the way down. My coach said this form was like A1, so I was super happy with that. Okay, so now we're doing sumo squats. So with sumos, I just grab 1 heavy dumbbell. Sometimes I use a strap, sometimes I don't. This day I didn't, but I probably should have, so I could have gone a little bit heavier. But for sumo, you want to stand wider than hip width apart and then toes turned out slightly. Make sure your knees are tracking over your toes and your ankles so you don't have any injuries. But I'm really controlling the weight on the way up. As you can see, I think on this last clip that's coming up, you can see my legs actually shaking on the way up because I'm just keeping so much tension in my glutes. You can just see every single little bit working. So you can see my tie-in, my quad, my hamstring popping, everything. So I really love these. Implement these into your next leg day. Give it a try. These feel amazing. And then next I moved into cable kickbacks. Cable kickbacks were so bad. This is the only clip you're getting. My form on these were absolute trash. I actually hurt my back. So I sent my clip to my coach and I was like, please help me with these. I'm so bad at these. I forgot my little cable cuffs, so these were just trash. Ignore these, okay? And then I moved into hamstring curls last. I've really been trying to be mindful about keeping my hips and my pelvis like on the actual bench because I have a tendency to let my lower back kind of arch and take over. And so it no longer is really my hamstrings working. So that is just something I've been super mindful of when I'm doing my hamstring curls, and it makes it a lot harder. So I try not to keep too much weight in my feet either. So I kind of relax my feet. Okay, and then finishing off the workout with some core work, I did vacuums to start. I typically do about 3 sets of vacuums and I just hold it for as long as I can. I like to do these laying on my back after my workout. And then after vacuums, I did some single leg reverse extensions. I do about 2 to 3 sets here and 20 reps per set. That is going to wrap up the workout. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. You are my love.